I'm always talking about relationships each week because it seems like relationships consume so much of our thought process. Not just, not with our significant other, but just in general, the way that we have to maintenance them, the way that we have to maintain them, the way we have to grow past, our shortcomings and triggers. Do you ever feel boxed in because of a relationship where you don't necessarily see the benefit of being in one?
For me, I wouldn't say boxed in, but I would say not understood. To and that I think that goes like both ways.
We don't
Um,
want it to go both ways, man. It's just us. It's just the guys and the
yeah, I
women
know. Yeah,
being
I
free
know.
with it.
But for me, I would just say not understood because if we all have needs and wants, but like you said, sometimes it kind of feel like a easy thing to do for someone. Like if you wake up in the morning, say, I love you, kiss goodbye, or do what you need to do. Or it could be harder for someone else to do that. But you don't fit. I wouldn't say like you feel like you boxed in. It's just that people have different, um, I guess, love languages and stuff like that that the other person don't see that that's a love language or something like that. So it will kind of make you feel like you're not understood all the way, I would say. So I wouldn't say boxed in, but I would say not understood though. That's the way that I would put it.
When you meet somebody in public, let's say you want to date them or something, it feels like the question that we are asking subjectively is, am I good enough for you? We look for that validation. We walk up to somebody, we meet them speed dating, we see them in a grocery store, we see them out at a club somewhere, we see them anywhere. Am I good enough for you before you get into a relationship with them? And how do you
Do I
know the answer to that question?
do I feel appreciated enough? Do I feel underappreciated? I mean, there's a lot of times where I feel a little underappreciated, and I feel like what
Why
the
should she
things
appreciate you at all?
the things that I do aren't valued as high as some of the things that she does.
But why? Why should your actions be valued? We ask that question: are we good enough? And if they date us, then we proceed that we are, and we pursue them until we get that validation, either through consummation action or from text messages or consent.
Well, I mean, you got to look at it. There's different levels. Because I mean, in the beginning, yeah, sure, it's all about that. But I mean, once you get to probably the middle of your relationship, where it's everything's comfortable, like you are who you actually are.
You're not good enough for her. That's what she's telling you right now when she don't validate you. That's what it is. Ain't no levels to it. You're just not good enough for her. She wish you were better. She wish you were a better you to fulfill all the needs that she has.
Who,
She's
me?
already yes, everybody. Everybody's got a woman or don't got a woman. They are settling when they get with us.
Aren't
We
we
feel
though?
like we feel like we won. When we pick our woman and we win her hand, we've won. But we can't understand why we don't get the victory dance. Because once they obtained us, they feel like they've settled. And they want to verify that they got the best that they could get by checking your worth against the field. They expect for us to increase our worth as we go along to maintain their interests. And when we don't increase our value in their life, then we don't get validated. That's the game they play. Yeah, that's the game we play.
Yeah, I feel like enough isn't always enough. You felt like you're progressing into a state, then it's like it's something else. It's always gonna be something else that could either improve in or not, something like that. So it's
Um,
hard. It's hard to say.
I find a couple, man. I asked them every time. I asked the guy, "Are you in love?" Immediately, he always says yes. If I ask the lady, "Is she in love?" Nah, nah, nah. She ain't in love, man. Why is that way? It ain't that she don't value her dude. She's just not in love because she thinks there's a love out there that she can have, either with you or with somebody else. If you were hands down her guy, she would value you as such. Would
Who
she
says
not?
I'm not?
She treats you like her king,
She treats me like her husband,
our king.
depending on what day it is. I mean,
That's a
you're
no.
talking in absolutes here. I don't treat her like a queen every day. She doesn't treat me like a king every day. But we have our days. But that's just because, I mean, we're in this together. We love each other. But not every day is about you. Not every day is about me. I mean, you're dealing in absolutes right now.
All right, so when you have your job, let's say I have a job, right? I have a job. And I have my job until what? When do I decide to get a new job?
Whenever you want one.
Why would I want a different job if the job I have is paying all my bills?
It's
Come on,
breaking your
walk
back.
me through it. Everybody, bro, get in here.
If it's not that
If
easy,
you're not happy, if your boss sucks,
Right, so I'm-
you don't
I'm
feel
not-
validated.
I'm not actively looking for a job until the job I have doesn't fulfill my needs, doesn't fulfill me. Once that happens, then I start looking for new jobs. And then I find a job that's better than the job I got, and then I get a new job. When in a relationship, you get into a relationship for fulfillment. You want to be fulfilled in your relationship. That's why you in it. So when your relationship starts being fulfilling, people start looking for new relationships subconsciously, because as social beings, that's what we need. As men, we have to lead that conversation to bring the narrative back to us validating each other. We have to change that mantra and say, hey, it ain't about that type of thing. It's us. But we don't address it like that. We feel like we can just do more to get more. But that's what got us where we at.
and don't never end. Don't never end. I feel like if we, since we have to be
X is shaking his head. So hit me up, bro.
okay.
Yeah, he disagree.
Okay.
No, man, I don't agree. Because it's a partnership. I mean, it's just like my wife just went through nursing school, all that. If that was the case of what you're talking about, she wouldn't have done that. She would have just moved on to something else, not something that's going to set both of us up for life.
So in a year from now, when she's making her own money, if she decides to leave you, why would she stay with you? Aside from the fact that you're the father.
Have you not seen me? Do you not know me?
I just
Why
asked that
would you
question,
want
so
to?
obviously,
For the audience.
I don't have to wear a mask.
I was waiting on it. You're like, no, X, go ahead, wear the mask. People like the mask.
I'm looking up top, man. Everybody see the mask but me.
But no, man, like I said, you're looking at it wrong. You've got to look at it as a partnership, or you're gonna have these thoughts all the time.
Over 50%
And I'm
of
not
marriages
saying-
end in divorce.
Yeah,
So how am I
And guess
looking at it
what?
wrong?
I'm not part of the 50 that is.
You are. Shit, you
How?
got 30 years ago. What you talking about?
Mm.
People get divorced after 15, 20, 25 years. What makes you think that you're going to hold on to yours if you feel like it's a partnership?
Because I'm not gonna do anything to mess it up.
She will.
Good
She's
luck
gonna
with
look for
that.
person. I'm not saying she will, but if you're not fulfilling her, why shouldn't she go look for somebody else?
Who says I'm not? Who says I can't? Who says just being who I am doesn't?
So let me ask you guys this: Do you feel like that you do things to help grow, and don't see the same from the other side, from your partner, as
Yes
a
and
family,
no.
as a couple?
I mean, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect.
I'm not
No,
saying
yeah, I
anybody's
know.
not perfect.
It's a half
I'm
and
asking.
half thing. I mean,
Make a
There's-
statement. Stop equivocating.
Yeah, you're using some woman logic on us here.
there's things, obviously, I mean, there's things that could be done better, but there's things that are being done better.
I know my woman, and I know how to please her, and she ain't gonna find nobody out there that knows her better than I do. That's the type of things I expect for you to say. You know, like there has to be something that defines you, that separates you from other guys. There's got to be a benefit to being with you, other than the fact that she's already invested time in you. You can work at a job for 20 years and find a better job tomorrow. It'd be stupid to not make $100,000 when you was making $50,000. So if she does the math and realize she can just pay you off and get somebody better, That's just logic.
Maybe it's just a confidence thing. But I'll tell you, like I tell everybody else, I mean, personality wise, we're like, I don't know, like a puzzle piece. We just fit. Like, even when we have fights, I mean, we get over them pretty quick. And we only typically fight about like big things, like future things, or like just a little bickering. But
So what about
who
relationships
doesn't?
that didn't work? Did you feel like a puzzle piece then too?
No,
What was it? So what happened? Like, how do you know if you're a puzzle piece?
you just know, man.
Oh, it's a
Like
gut feeling?
I could literally be sitting on the couch watching Dragon Ball Z wearing this, and she'll walk in the door, look at me, and just kind of giggle and go on about. Like, it's not weird. It's not like this shouldn't be here. It just is what it is. Why don't somebody else talk and, like, you know, come on, share some experiences. Why are we
wasn't
here
gonna
if we're
say
not
that.
going to share experiences?
I'm not gonna say that. I had 4 jokes. I had 2 jokes. One of them was me, and I was like, "That's bad. Don't say that."
I mean, I'll say that I was in a relationship where I felt like I was roommates with the person, and that was not a good feeling. It was really terrible.
Why did you feel like a roommate?
I mean, we never did anything together. It was like we just stayed in the same house. I mean, you know, we would say, "Hey, I love you," but I don't think either one of us really truly meant it. But we were together for so long, it was like, you know, this is what we had been doing anyway.
Just used to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were just used to me staying in the basement and her watching TV upstairs. So, you know, you are right. It does take work, but you know, there is still a validation that I selfishly seek a lot of the time, that, like, you know, what I'm contributing to doesn't feel like it's appreciated, or, you know, I know she does, but I just don't feel like I'm feeling her in some of those things.
Well, here's the thing, and this is just speaking from personal experience. As a man, if I'm making more money, and let's say whoever I'm with is working less hours or not working at all, I'm bringing home the money, so to speak. When I come home, you know, you're doing housework and stuff. I'll help out here and there, but
Let's say the new guy can afford a maid. Like, I mean,
Okay.
how does that validate you though? I mean, just cause, you know, somebody's doing housework and stuff like that. When you say, why don't these other guys say something, Luke? I mean, you've been in relationships. Jalen, you've been in relationships. You're seeking a relationship. You're on a journey to be a better person, to be in a better relationship.
True.
Trial and error. I agree. I disagree.
It's
Yeah.
tough. These are tough questions. Look, you gotta be witty.
Look.
But I think, like, do y'all think let's say almost everyone has kids, right? So if a woman is, you know, pregnant and is taking care of her, you know, the baby and herself, and you're working, possibly, or only one working, does this equal, is there a equate thing to equal her taking care of the baby and you taking the responsibilities of working and providing for the family? Is that equal, or is the one person doing more? If she's taking care of making a baby pregnancy, is that doing more than what you're doing as a man is working?
It depends on which person you ask in the relationship, because I think if you ask the man, I think they'll tell you that it's equal. I think if you ask the woman, I think they'll say that they do more. Now, being a mom is a full-time job. I mean, it is, especially with young little ones. It's a full-time job. But, like, I mean, I try to help mine out as much as I can, especially when they were, you know, when she was at home with them, I was trying to help. But I mean, you're right. It's tough to to go work get up at 6, go roll beer all day, drag through accounts, get home, take the baby for a minute. I mean, it's tough, but that's
Mhm.
that window is small. That's a small window we're talking about here.
Okay. So here's the thing. If you come to my house and sweep my floor for me, do you remember being a kid in school and the teacher say erase the board or whatever? And the kids jump up and volunteer, like, I want to erase the board. Let me do it for you, Miss whoever, Miss Taylor. And you go up there and you feel accomplished because you helped the teacher out. Remember being in elementary school and doing something like that? Any good kids in here? Nobody?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I don't want to
All
erase
right.
the board.
Okay, whatever. Take out the trash, sharpen the pencils, pass out the papers, eat the snacks, whatever you did in school that made you feel happy. You know
No,
what
I
mean?
was a dumb kid in the corner with a pencil
Okay.
watching it wave.
There you go.
Glue.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
why
I
you're
never got the glue.
and that's why you're the catch now.
Yeah.
Smelling the
I'll
marker
save it
back
for
there.
later.
So this is the key. When you are in a relationship, you want the person that's doing stuff for you to feel fulfilled the same way that you felt fulfilled when you was helping out that person. If helping you out makes them feel like they're doing work, then you're not presenting the work in the right way.
Mm.
Like if I call one of my brothers over to help me out with something, man, I expect for them to come over and be happy to do it. Because that's the kinship that we've bonded together with, our own. Why in a relationship is there our onus for us to feel like we owe somebody something? It should be a moment of gratitude. I'm raising your kids for you, bro. These are our kids. I want them to have the best. So I'm going to be the best. Whether me being the best is me 100% today and you 100% tomorrow, or me 100% until the day they die. I am raising your kids for you, and I want you to shine through these kids. What's that? It's a song out by India Irie called The Truth. He says, you are the truth. You are my truth. Talk about being the king. Man, it's two separate roles, man. The king and the queen, bro, they support each other. It's the glow that enlightens the world. It ain't about stealing glow from somebody else and needing glow from somebody else. If you with somebody that you don't feel elated to help, then you with the wrong person. Short and simple. Or you are the wrong person.
I agree with you. And it goes right back into just partnership.
So if I cut that grass today out there and I feel like I can come in the house and tell you that you need to cook, I cut the grass for the wrong reason.
I cut the grass because I'm a man.
Cut the grass.
And that's just what we do.
Because you scared of snakes.
What if you though? What if you do those things though, and you feel like, if for me, I wouldn't care about, I'm not gonna come home and tell you to do something. Like I said, if you want to do, you can do it. I do it myself before I ask you to do something. So for me, go ahead.
You're one of those passive aggressives. You like come home, clothes aren't in the dryer, you start slamming the dryer door.
I wouldn't do it with an attitude.
That no, you just
I don't do it. I don't do it with no attitude. I just do it because for me, I feel like I'm gonna have to do that anyway. If I'm with you or not with you, there's something that I'm gonna have to do anyway. So for me, I feel like I don't have to tell you to do that. Like if you want to do that, you do it. But I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say you have to, because who am I to say that you have to?
I'm the best at everything. That's what I feel the same way.
Yeah. So if you want to look at it that way, as far as like, I'm gonna tell you what to do. I'm not gonna be that person, but I do expect appreciation when I am doing it. So like if I'm doing something that you could be doing, I feel like that I want to be appreciated for doing that. But like I said, I'm not going to pressure you into doing it, because like you said, it gets you in that mind of, well, I'm doing this and I want you to do that because I'm doing this.
Just cheer me on. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I want.
If I cook, if I do the budget, if I raise the kid, cheer me on. If you can't do it and I can, cheer me on. Don't bring negative energy my way. That's the crazy part about it, is when you do the stuff, it ain't a positive energy that's brought to you. It's a negative energy.
I think that's the main thing is the negative energy that follows along with a lot of the stuff. On top of you know, you're already in the back of your mind, like you don't want to charge anybody for your love, but in the back of your mind, you've got something already turning. And then there's negativity on top of it. You're like, come on. And then you hear you don't do nothing.
And that's what starts it right there.
And I was like, let's say that's true. Then what happens? Let's say I don't do nothing. So what's your point? You know, like I'm trying to get to the base of what we're discussing then. And the conversation ain't never about what it started out to be. It ain't about what you do to begin with. It's about what you're not doing for her. If she felt fulfilled by you, I guarantee you that she would want to be in your good graces, man. She want to see the light shine in your eyes, man. But there's something about us, because we get in our ways, we get triggered, and we show that darkness in us, man, and they consume it. They reflect it right back at us for days. We have one moment of darkness, and they reflect that over days and weeks and sometimes 15, 20 years. That one moment. Forever, right here.
Well, I mean, selfishness is ingrained in all of us.
Sometimes
I'm
you
not
feel
gonna lie.
so refreshed.
Sometimes I'll come home from work just dead tired. More when I worked manual labor than now, of course. But
Yeah, you just weren't built for that.
yeah, I did it for 6 years. What are you talking
I
about?
thought my mic was muted. My bad.
Actually did it for manual labor about 10 years of my life. What you talking about? Paid for it. Whined about it. But I did
you
it.
give like 60%, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you were a
If
salesman.
you was on the practice team, I guess you was on the team. I guess.
You're in a damn
Technically.
freezer.
You got a jersey.
Sweating, stocking a shelf. Come on now. Sitting over there talking about your steps.
I see why.
I used to
man.
outstep
you don't
you
get
in
along
one
with
day.
people.
Yeah.
You're just attacking me, man. It's okay. Some
You
of us are
started
built
it.
different. And I love it, man. I love when you pay me attention. It makes me feel good. Thank you, sir.
Does it fulfill you?
It does. It actually does. It goes right in there.
So that's the thing. I feel like with you, it's like you like me more when you like piss me off and make me like, I don't know, like snap at you like a snake rather than we're just like having a good time talking to each other.
You want me to validate you and say yes or no?
No.
He's seeking your validation.
I do.
I mean,
fulfill-
I'm
do
just
like you.
talking. I mean, somebody's got to talk in the podcast. I'm here for you, baby.
Thank you, sir. And that is our time for today. Stay tuned for next podcast when I go off the rails yet again.